First of all, brothers and sisters, do not be fooled by what some of the laymen may say, that I took a loan from an Islamic bank. This is not possible. A conventional bank is based on riba. All what they do, all their transactions, most of it is based on riba. Whether it's long-term, short-term, on the spot, whatever. It is based on dealing with riba. So what they do is they either borrow or they lend. And there's always a percentage, whether it is 0.5% on big amounts of money, short time, a term, or something longer and a longer period of time. It all depends. An Islamic bank never gives you a loan. I would never go to a bank and say, listen, I need 100,000. He says, okay, inshallah, here's 100,000. Because it's not a charity. He would not give me 100,000 without any benefit for him. So what does, or how does an Islamic bank work? An Islamic bank works through a different number of what they call windows or transactions or ways of dealing. So they either sell you something directly and they make their profit out of the sale, or they may go into partnership with you. So they join forces, or they go into what is known as mudarabah. So they provide the money and you provide the logistics and the work, and so on. The most famous way of getting money from the bank is through what is known as tawarruq. Tawarruq is the bank selling you a commodity. You acquire this commodity and you go and sell it elsewhere to cash the money. Now, what is the ruling on me selling Ahmed this pen for $1 cash and selling another pen or identical pen to Abdullah for $2 cash? Does Abdullah have the right to say, why are you selling Ahmed for $1 and selling it to me for $2? He doesn't have the right to say that. It's my pen. I can sell it for $1 gazillion. Who cares? This is mine. So I have the right to determine the price. Now, in another situation, if I sell it to Abdullah for $2, but I'm kind to him, and I say, listen, you don't have to pay it cash. Pay it over the duration of a few months or few years. Is it okay? Definitely is okay, providing that the final price is fixed. So it is $2, that's it. If we agree for 5 months, if he comes and he says that I can't pay, and he prolongs it into 7 months, into a year, the $2 remain. This transaction, the selling and buying has been made. Cashing the money, the price, it has not been made fully, but the price is final. So now let's go back to the Islamic Bank. I need money, I need cash. So I go to them and I say, I'd like the amount of $100,000. How can you guys provide me? They say to me, well, these are our warehouses. We have air conditions for sale. We have steel rods. We have cement. We have this and that. Or we have cars. You pick and choose. So I go and I pick and I choose this amount or commodity that I'm interested in buying, and we agree on the price, and they sell it to me with a fixed price that cannot be increased at all, and the terms of payment. I take the commodity, I go somewhere else, I sell it to a third party who is not connected to the bank. Of course, he will buy it with like 2-3% less, because it's not brand new and it's not from the agent or from the owner of the company. And I get the money. This is known as tawarruq, and it's completely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, where are the loopholes in Islamic transactions? Islamic banks, whether in Dubai, whether in Saudi Arabia, whether in London, whether in New York, The problem is that when they start to bend the rules a little bit, and unfortunately some of the Sharia board sign only on the face of it without looking what's behind or in between the lines. So I go to an Islamic Bank and I say I need 100,000 euros. They said, okay, we will sell you this commodity for 120,000 euros. This is our profit, 20%. Agree? I agree. So, okay, sign. I sign. Then they come with another document and say, okay, now this is authorization from you to us to sell this commodity on your behalf for 95,000 euros. Agree? I said, okay. I sign. 5 minutes later, it's in my bank account, $95,000. This or euros. This is totally haram. Why? First of all, because I did not see the commodity. I did not actually buy it, possess it, own it. It's only on paper. To the best of my knowledge, this is nothing. Maybe they have a pile of cement for sale, but there are 100 different branches around the country selling the same amount of cement to 100 different buyers and then buying it from them. So this is a trick, like in the beginning when I spoke about al-ina, the pen is still in my custody. It's just something that we pretended to do to trick Allah Azza wa Jal. Selling him for 1,200, buying it from him for 1,000 cash, alhamdulillah. So this is not permissible. Now, coming back to Samir's question. If you, Samir, go to the Rajhi and you ask them for a commodity and they tell you, we will sell you stocks. Al-Rajhi Bank, like Al-Bilad, like Al-Jazeera, they have stocks in their possession. And once they sell it for you with an agreed price, it enters your portfolio. It is owned by you. So you can keep it there for a day, for a week, for a year. No one forces you to sell it. Now, when you sell it, it is you who's punching in your username and password and then looking at the prices of that day and then say, yes, sell. And you sell the whole amount or half of it or part of it. And you will find that the money is in your bank account. So, as I stated, there is no collaboration between the Rajhi Bank, yourself, and the buyer. The buyer is someone anonymous. Now, what scares me is that if the bank itself does all this, the buying and the selling, in this case, this to me is not permissible. They have to sell you these shares, these stocks, put it in your portfolio, and then it is your call to sell it whenever you want on your own without even referring to them or without them buying it from you again. And I hope this answers your question. Of course, similar situations occur nowadays with mortgage. And we know that mortgage is haram, whether it's in the US or in Europe or any Muslim or non-Muslim country, because the final price keeps on changing and it's an interest-based loan. And we've seen what the mortgage had done in 2008 when the credit crunch took place, and how that these mortgages were the main driver for the fall of the markets worldwide. Alhamdulillah, the Muslim world that deals with Islamic banking was the only type of economy that was preserved and saved. The Islamic banks did not suffer because they don't deal in riba, they don't deal in haram, in selling by the margin and stipulating prices, etc., and doing all of this. Alhamdulillah.